Next up on my Steam library, I'm playing RocketsRocketsRockets. RocketsRocketsRockets is an arcade arena combat game. In it, you control a rocket, and you're in a duel against an opponent's rocket. Now, this opponent can be the computer AI or a friend. And I say a friend because unless you're in the habit of inviting strange people around your house, it's probably going to be a friend, because the multiplayer is local only. So it's got local co-op and local versus multiplayer, but it's not online. I believe the wording in the game's description makes that fairly clear, but just in case you're under any doubt, you can't play it online. It's local multiplayer only. So it's kind of an old-fashioned kind of couch game that you play on your consoles in the sort of the early 90s, late 80s, that kind of game where you get a few people around your house and all just sit around and play like a little arcade game against each other. So the rocket is flown around the arena. The arena's got obstacles and things in it. There's a few different backdrops for the arena you can select, and you've got a few different weapons your rocket can fire. Some missiles which fire straight out the front of the rocket, some mines which leave a little trail behind your rocket and then explode, and a bomb that just drops down from your rocket, which you can blow yourself up with, and I did a few times, so be careful. So the controls are sort of quite physics-based, gravity-based controls. Your rocket loops around according to its momentum and inertia and the gravity pulling it, and you can bump into the obstacles and things like that, and use them for cover and getting out of the way of your opponent's rocket. It's very bright and colourful and loud, with lots of little effects and explosions and sound effects going off all the time. So it's got quite a nice look to it, quite a lots of little visual treats and things. You can customize the look of your rocket to a small degree, just a couple of different color schemes as it's flying around. There is a different mode, like a non-combat mode, which they call Zen mode, which you can just fly your rocket around in a non-combat environment, leaving trails behind it, just like drawing little patterns and shapes with your rocket. If you just want to sort of veg out and just do that on your big screen, I suppose it could be quite relaxing, quite meditative if you're into that. So I played it for only a short while. I mean, I played against the AI, and yeah, it was quite good fun, but I don't think I'd go back to it just playing against the AI. And I don't really have people sitting around the house playing those kind of couch controller sort of parties that you used to have years ago. Online gaming's kind of overtaken all that. But if you have a few people around, if you're ever going to do that, then this is the kind of game you might want to put on. If you've got a couple of friends around and you just have a little arcade game night, something you might want to put on for an hour and just have a little crack at. Its asking price is $4.99, which may be a little bit expensive for what it is. It's only a little indie game, but it's probably a little bit too much. But in a Steam sale, 50% off or so, then that's a pretty good value. But you'll have to judge for yourself the value you're going to get out of it, based on like how much you're going to play. So that's RocketsRocketsRockets, a little indie arcade arena combat game.